I'm going to do the first couple of steps here with a custom canopy because I've already done these steps with the stock canopy. We'll switch back to that one just in a minute. Start off by marking the front two holes right in the center with a Mark-a-Lot or other felt tip marker. Just pick a point right in the center of the recess, and we're going to drill a pilot hole here. Alright, we drill this pilot hole in the front two recesses in the canopy because we're going to need to put the mount grommets in. There's a lot of different ways you can get this hole sized. The manual will tell you they need to be 30 thousandths of an inch. That's about right to fit this grommet snugly. If you want to drill this out with a approximately 30 thousandths inch drill, you can. I highly recommend you take a ream. This is a Kyosho reamer. Use it for car bodies. And I took a dial caliper and I found where the high points on it were 30 thousandths of an inch, and I put a piece of tape around it so that it's basically a stop. So all I have to do is take the ream the hole until it gets down to that tape, and it's 30 thousandths of an inch. So I'm going to do that for both the front holes in the canopy and then clean up the excess fiberglass. Alright, we're back to the stock canopy now. Once you get those holes in place, you want to just slide the grommet into one side, take something non-metallic and push this grommet into place. If you grab it on the inside, you can pull it into place. Might be a little tricky to get in there. There we go, and it's seated. Do the same thing on the other side, and then you'll want to take some thick CA, apply around the edges of this so that it's sealed into place. Be really careful with the CA because if it runs through the canopy and out the other side and gets on this finish, it will damage the finish. It'll dull it wherever the adhesive is. Now you're going to want to do the exact same process with the rear holes. There's recesses in the canopy. You should be able to mark the center and drill it, but I'm going to show you a process to absolutely ensure it's correct. These canopies are fiberglass, they're mass produced, sometimes they shrink, they're not all absolutely identical. So I'm going to show you a way to make sure that these rear holes line up properly, and when you drill a hole, everything will fit without putting stress on the canopy, which would cause it to crack more easily later. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put the canopy on the front of the chassis. If you've put the standoffs on correctly, there's a protrusion on both sides, sort of a shoulder. That's going to seat in the grommets. Go ahead and pull this over. Line those up. Once you get them lined up, go ahead and put the canopy nuts in the front. We want to make sure this is lined up in the position it's going to be. Once you got the front of the canopy secure, you're going to want to lean the canopy down where it's where it looks level on the chassis. Look across the top and take a pencil, and you're going to mark where the rear canopy post is on that part of the canopy. Basically, you want to make a vertical mark and a horizontal mark, sort of an X, if you will, in the indentation. And what you're trying to be sure of is when the canopy is mounted in the right position, it lines up correctly with the post. Otherwise, this can cause the canopy to distort, to have pressure on it, and over time it's going to be more prone to cracking. As I said, the ones I've built, I just drilled them right in the center of the recess and it was fine. They're fiberglass, they can shrink, they're not necessarily identical. I recommend you do this at least the first time to make sure everything is correct. And then we put the grommets in. Once the holes are reamed, we put the grommets in and can put the canopy mounts on. With that, we've got the canopy mounted. One more note, if you're using the stock can muffler, you're going to need to trim the canopy just a slight amount here because there's an interference area. I suspect most people are not going to use this muffler, so it won't be an issue. The aftermarket muffler's clear without a problem.